Welcome to Generation Iron. How you doing?
How you doing, Vlad?
Akim, you became the face of Muscle Meds, right? A couple of years ago, like a year
Yeah,
ago.
a year ago, basically. Yeah.
Kai Green was always associated with the brand, as we all know. He was the face of the company. Did you feel the pressure kind of stepping in and becoming the new face of the supplement company that he basically helped create?
Not really. In the beginning, a lot of people was like, they're trying to replace Kai with me and stuff like that. So I got a lot of negative feedback, basically people saying that he can never be like Kai and stuff like that. But I didn't really feel any pressure because I know me and Kai two different, way different type of bodybuilders and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I just had to be myself and just make people accept me for who I am.
You're also from Brooklyn originally, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kai was from Brooklyn, you're from Brooklyn. Kai was massive, and from the visually looking at you, you're even more massive. So when you went to the first expo, traveling with Muscle Meds, what kind of reactions did you see from the fans?
Well, I already had my fan base and stuff like that, so a lot of the people that came out and showed me love was people that already were that was already like following me and stuff like that. But even the ones that was friends fans of Kai, they still accepted me and they still was happy to meet me and greet me. So it wasn't bad at all. The transition wasn't bad at all.
Now, you consider to be world's strongest bodybuilder, is that accurate?
But I have some pretty impressive lifts in terms of my deadlifts and squats. I could probably hang with the best powerlifters out there.
A lot of bodybuilders, they're very cautious how much they actually lift because they can get injured.
Well, when I started bodybuilding, I was always a strong guy, so I just used that in transition into bodybuilding, and I didn't change anything in terms of just because you become a bodybuilder, you need to change the way you work out. I kept everything the same.
Hmm.
I've only been bodybuilding for 5 years now, and for what I've built in 5 years, you could tell it's probably attributed towards the training, the type of training that I did.
You just started competing on stage just like a few years ago. Where do you see your career going?
I mean, this was my first time at the Mr. Olympia, and I didn't place as well as I wanted to, but I still made top 15. I won my first show, which was the Tampa Pro. I came in second place to a very competitive Victor Martinez in the Baltimore Pro. So basically, my goal next year is to actually crack the top 10 in the Mr. Olympia.
Hmm.
It would be a very, very great accomplishment for me.
Are you going to do the Arnold next year?
I am not sure because right now, with the whole transition with muscle mass and stuff like that, I'm still kind of like in the process of searching for a new sponsor. So if I pick something up, then maybe I'll do the Arnold.
Are they restructuring or what's going on with the company?
They basically trying to go the whole corporate route now. So they're restructuring a lot, they're rebranding and stuff like that. So right now, I just got the word that I'm not going to be resigned for 2017. So they decide between basically me and Victor Martinez, who's been with the company for a long time with MHP. So they're going to switch him over to Muscle Meds and have him represent the brand from after this month.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Just open more opportunities to open better doors.
Bodybuilding is a very tough sport. It's a tough sport to make money and it's a tough sport to actually compete in. It takes a lot out of you. Why did you choose to continue even though it's very challenging?
Well, before all of this was actually my first year that I actually did bodybuilding full time. Before this, I was always working a full time job and trying to compete. A lot of guys don't understand that you working a full time job and you're trying to compete is very, very hard. You could always work a regular job.
Hmm.
So I figured I don't want to be the type of person that 5, 10, 15 years from now, you're going to live your life saying what if. So I figured, I'll give this a shot, give it my all and see what happens and see how far I can take it with. And if it doesn't work out, then, just, I guess, go back to regular life.
Hmm. Did you always feel like you have the genetics for bodybuilding?
Greatest thing about me is it's so easy for me to put on size. Because I remember when I first started working out, I had a friend that was actually training to get into the Marines.
Hmm.
And that was when I started working out. He needed a training partner. And within 6 months, he'd been working out for maybe years probably. And within 6 months, I was already bigger than him. I added more muscle than him. And my body started transforming way faster than him, and to the point where he didn't even want to work out anymore. He just lost motivation because he couldn't understand how fast I was growing. So I've always had the genetics. Even my first couple of shows, I didn't even do any cardio, and I would keep winning. It was until I got to nationals that I actually realized I had to work a little bit harder.
Hmm.
But for the local, I would just like shave and get on stage and win.
What do you like about competing the most?
Well, this year was basically standing in the winning circle. I think once you get a taste of winning, you get addicted to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but I mean, I've always liked the whole process of just seeing your body transform, just seeing what you could be or what you could accomplish in like 16 weeks or 12 weeks, you know.
A lot of guys, you know, they like to get big, but like to get on the stage and pose, you know, for the first time. Not everybody can do it, you know what I'm saying? People get stage fright, you know. Did you ever experience that?
My first show, actually, I'm from Brooklyn, so my first show was out in Pennsylvania. And my girlfriend at the time, she decided she was going to drive me all the way up to Pennsylvania. So we get out to Pennsylvania, and I actually looked at the crowd, I looked at everybody, I'm like, ain't no way I'm getting on that stage. And she was the one, she was just like, listen, she's like, listen, I drove you all the way up here, you better get your fucking ass on stage. So she put her foot down, and I had to do what she said, you know. Every show you do, it becomes easier and easier, you know.
I heard somewhere that Ronnie Coleman is your favorite bodybuilder. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Why is that? Why is Ronnie your favorite?
I just love the way he trained, man. You know, the fact that he basically lifted heavy even when he was prepping, you know. He didn't back down, you know. He always lifted heavy, and that was part of what made him as great as he was, you know, as he is. So I just like his training style, and I try to incorporate it to the same type of training style in my workouts, and hopefully, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to be as great as Ronnie Coleman, but just seeing, compared to him sometimes with the type of lifts that I do is truly amazing.
Ronnie recently, he went through a couple of surgeries, double hip replacement, and some say it's because of the heavy training. It's had a long-term effect on him. Are you ever concerned about that as far as you going heavy? Is it going to affect you in the future, your health?
Well, I mean, if you're going to live like that, then you shouldn't be bodybuilding, man. I say, I put it out there and I say no regrets, man. You know, you only have one life to live, and if you're going to do something amazing that people are going to remember you for, it's basically you accomplishing the goal. And I don't think Ronnie has any regrets. You can't live your life in fear. Many great men will never accomplish what they set out to accomplish, you know. Try to play it as safe as possible, and you can't really prevent injuries, man. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I've done seen people in the gym that were basically benching 400 pounds, and one day they come in the gym and they were warming up with like 135 and they got injured.
Now, you, from what I read, you're over 300 pounds off season. You get pretty heavy, you know. Can you still do like regular things, you know? Can you still play ball and just enjoy your life with that weight? Does it take a toll on you at all?
Nah, I'm not getting on the basketball court anytime soon. I tried a lot of them. I had a few buddies of mine who came up and, you know, they wanted to go play ball, and I decided I was going to, you know, try for a little while, but within like 5 minutes I was huffing and puffing. It's not for me.
All right, so F-Zone, I heard they, you know, those guys in Jersey doing big things. The store is really nice, and from what I hear, they incorporate the supplements and the clothing and everything else, and it's a great location as well. Talk to me about that.
It's a very unique, one-of-a-kind store in terms of, like you said, they incorporate the supplements and the clothing, which most supplement stores don't do. You know, it's rare you could go to a supplement store and find like workout clothing in terms of like Gorilla Wear and Heyday and those brand names and stuff like that, you know. So it gives it a very different feel because it's like a one-stop shopping. And also it's located inside of a gym, so you could go there, get a great workout, and after you finish, you have all your supplements available to you to basically accomplish your bodybuilding goals.
I love the fact that there is, you know, companies like Gorilla Wear, for instance, and other ones that actually create products for fitness and bodybuilding industry. Because, you know, the problem is I think that a lot of mainstream companies don't create products specifically for bodybuilders like yourself, you know, and other professional athletes, and also stores that actually cater to you as well. Yeah,
it's definitely a good thing because most of the time you have a guy that's like 300 pounds, you know, it's really hard for him to find clothing that actually look good on him versus much less, you know, fit, you know. So just to have an outlet that basically cater to guys like me is definitely great to have, you know.
Absolutely, man. Listen, Akim, I definitely want to keep following your career. It's a pleasure to be talking to you, man, and I want to wish you all the best. And 2017, I think you're going to surprise a lot of people, man.
Thank you so much.
So she goes to me, what are you doing? Why is this so wet? Are you spitting on me? What are you slobbering? You know, my asshole's all wet and everything. So we turn on the light, and there's blood everywhere. Blood. And I'm like, oh my God, what'd you do? You know, you had your period, you know what I mean? What is that shit? And she goes to me, I don't know, but it feels really weird down there. Wait a minute, holy shit. That's not my blood, that's your blood.